Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're winding down to the wire here. Is that a saying? Winding down to the wire? I don't know if it is. If it isn't, make it a saying, guys. All right, hey, you know it's me, it's Ken. We're doing the Piercing Metal thing. We're here, Big Apple Comic Con, their annual event. It's the holiday edition at the beautiful New Yorker Hotel. Hey, give me a free room. I've been endorsing you in every video so far. Check it out, Gerba Press. What is Gerba Press? Well, that's Philip Gerba. His company, and look, he's even on Mastodon.
Oh yeah,
look at Mastodon. This. Me and 3 other people that I know are on Mastodon. I'm glad that I see Philip Gerba on Mastodon and laughing at my terrible jokes. Philip Gerba himself. Hey Phil.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you? Talk to me.
I'm doing well.
Talk to me about Gerba Press, please.
Well, Gerba Press is my comic book company I made because I wanted to make comic books, and I have made several. My most successful one is Animals of the Apple. It's semi-biographical. It also goes deep into New York City history. I am, at my day job is a New York tour guide, right? So I know a lot of fun history about New York City. These are all focused on the ones that have to do with animals because I love animals and I love the wildlife of New York City, which is always kind of fun. It's something that people don't think about as much, but it's there underneath your feet, on all the parks and everything like that.
We were talking about the giant pigeon.
Oh yes, the giant pigeon is a crazy statue, isn't it?
I didn't see it yet, but my friend went from here to go to see it, and I said, I got to go to it next. So.
And I do this online before I publish them in person, so I don't have it published yet, like the print copy, but I have a great story about pigeons in Herald Square and how the New York Herald actually used pigeons to deliver their messages before we had telephones, and when it was really tough to get a telegraph because you had to have stations, so pigeons were often the fastest way to get the news to the press, so you can get the story scoop before your other competitors, which is kind of wild. So pigeons are a very fascinating part of this city, and they weren't always pests, although a lot of people think of them that way now.
Those people can go scratch.
Exactly. Right?
So I like this black cat. I had black cats.
Oh yeah, that's Artemis. She passed away last year, but there's a little story about Artemis and how I met her, and also this one is trying to get into the heads of cats, which is kind of fun. So some of these are very autobiographical, some are personal. Another one about mice here, which is cool. And then some of the ones that go into things that you might not have known about, like how starlings were introduced by a fellow who was a big fan of Shakespeare. And starlings were mentioned in one Shakespeare play. That was enough to get him to release a lot of starlings into our ecosystem here. And they became a rather pest of an invasive species for a long time. But I have to admit, I still find starlings one of the most beautiful birds when they fly in those murmurations.
I do love most birds, and I love the pigeons even too as a New Yorker. But you made me laugh when you said getting into the mind of cats. I once saw a meme that said, if your cat could text you, it wouldn't.
That is true. That was definitely true.
I was like, that's my cat. So how long's the company been around then?
The comic's been around for a few years. I got started.
This is the same?
This is the same. This is volume 2. This is volume 1. I got started actually doing with this comic, which I was doing for a different project, which was one of the comics that I was doing when I was doing a bunch of comics with comics collaborators, and this was the one that I got the best feedback out of. So I decided to make it a bunch of two-page stories, and all of my Animals of the Apples are 2-page stories, and they go to different, again, historical and autobiographical looks into New York City and the animals within, which is kind of fun. And I kept with that kind of small story formats with Epic Duels, which is my other project here, and this is a 4-page format, and I use the different genres to explore how we talk about conflict in different genres. So like fantasy, got a little bit of sword and sorcery here, and then I go into science fiction, a little bit of time travel, and cyberpunk, steampunk, all sorts of fun things, and just explaining how the different genres really relate to this kind of conflict between 2 big entities, right? 2 big heroes, if you will, which is kind of fun. So I like this one as well, and I did this one, and then I went back to Animals of the Apple for volume 3, which is what I'm doing now on my website. Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
How has this event been for you as your first Big
my
Apple?
first Big Apple Comic Con, so it's been pretty fun. I've been meeting a lot of people, talking to a lot of people, and seeing what's out there. And I've been seeing a lot of really great artwork with a lot of my fellow creators here in Artist Alley.
Yeah, you got a lot of good people around you.
Absolutely. It's a very friendly con. And again, I hope they give me a free hotel room too. But I do love the New Yorker. It's a great venue.
It's an interesting place, this building. I know that they wouldn't listen to me on that. What are these?
Oh yeah, these was my earlier work. I did some comic strips early on, so that was my first foray into the sequential art. And then I did some squarely quick, basically getting ideas out there quickly. So I was just doing these very quickly. I didn't spend more than 20 minutes on any particular panel, and that was kind of a rule I followed somewhat accurately. But I also made them square and made them relatively short stories, so that I was actually trying to game the algorithm for Instagram for these. Not sure if that worked so well, but it did make some interesting stories, some really fun comics.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you get back to wrapping up this here. We got 1 hour left of this convention, and
Absolutely winding down to that last wire, right?
Philip,
We'll make it.
I start to say things that I don't recall saying. And
Oh yeah.
Philip, it was nice to meet you. I appreciate your time. And hey, so friends, if you want to learn more about animals in the apple and the other cool stuff that he's got going on here from Gerba Press, you're gonna want to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and like and leave a comment on the video. And we'll see you next time. I remain your humble host, the now very tired Ken Pierce from Piercing Metal. All right, we'll see you on Mastodon, Phil. Bye.
Excellent.